let's improve your takeaway, which might allow you to hit the ball further and straighter. Reducing curvature often increases distance without people having to feel like they're swinging harder or doing loads more. These ideas will work with driver and iron. And getting control of that takeaway, the theme of your golf swing, puts you in a great position to start hitting more greens, longer drives, and shooting all around lower scores. So linking your takeaway up to the way you turn can really help you get a lot of control. So what I mean by that is I like to see you get your lead hip, so for me my left hip, and the butt end of the club sharing some relationships as they start that backswing. So a simple way of doing this, you can literally just put your hand on your lead hip and just touching the club and try and push the club away by pushing that lead hip forward and in, and get those two movements syncing up. If you think about it, these are great for getting a much more connected first movement away, getting rid of these fanning of the faces or pushing the club out, or even whipping it too far inside where it kind of runs away from your lead hip. Connecting it up to that lead hip, you can even put the club on your lead hip to start and just feel this action. You could do this at home, but what you could do on the course is when you're just about to hit a shot, you could just connect up, feel that lead hip, start in the first literally 2 feet of that takeaway, and then work that into your full shot and stand there and try and get those better, stronger strikes. Another great takeaway drill I like to use is just get the club between your heel and the toe of lead and trail foot. So a second club with the grip end sticking out this side. And all I want you to do is try and get into the first quarter of the swing. So if you think about first parallel, halfway between first parallel and begin, just stop and see if you can get the club shaft and the face to line up with each other. This is a great way again of feeling that connection. You can do it with the first drill as well to get the feeling of how connected that feels with the body turn. You can do some where you actually feel like the face is pointing more towards the ball. This might promote more of a draw. You can do some then as well where you feel like the face is pointing more up to the sky. This creates more loft, might create more fade, often the shots people want to get rid of. But for lots of golfers, having this visual cue down on the ground makes it really good for them when it's not there. So when the cue's not there, they can almost still see it in their mind's eye of a position, a place they want to try and hit. If this is going to allow you to get control of your club face, control of your club path, set that theme for some better shots. I mean, I would be doing this drill all day, like at home before I go to play, as much as I can. The more you do it each day, the more it'll start to become the norm, and you'll start to break down these more destructive actions. Now I want to link that up a little bit more to how you control this club face. So I want you to have so much control of this club face that you can hit different height and shape shots that you require. To do that, I actually want you to hit shots by feeling extreme club faces in your takeaway. So I want you to take a few shots where you try and put this takeaway action into practice, but I want you to just to keep the face pointing down at the ground and see what shots come out. For most golfers, you're going to see, if I do a backswing here where I point this face more at the ground, what happens is the ball starts really curving off to the left for me, because I have a very neutral action. So if I try and turn it down to the ground, ball will start left and curve a bit more left. But if you think about it, if you're someone who struggles with rolling that face and rolling that club, you feeling like you're pointing that face more at the ground in that takeaway might get you more to neutral. And this is something years and years of coaching teaches you. The more you use your language to express extremes for some people, it helps them shift the needle, because if you tell them where you want them to get to, they often can't get there. So you playing with extremes in club face, and the way we're doing that, turning it to the ground, vice versa, hit somewhere, you just turn it way up to the sky and hit some shots and see what happens to the shape, to the height. By having these two options in your bag, by feeling where extremely turned down is and extremely turned up is, will allow you to find that middle ground. I'm doing that in forearms and wrist actions as we take away, really feeling like I'm turning the club down in my forearms and then turning it up, forearms and wrists, to try and manipulate where that club face gets to. Again, feeling those extremes might allow you to find somewhere in the middle, because some of you watching are going to need the face in this position as you start your backswing. Some of you are going to need it here. Some of you are going to need it here. They're all usable, gameable club face control positions. They're going to sync to all the other patterns that you put in, and that's often a common mistake. People think they have to hit an exact position. You don't. You need to have some good trends, some good themes to continue the theme of what you're trying to do with your full shot. Getting control of that takeaway and getting control of the face with the direction of the takeaway can add so much distance and accuracy to so many players' games, but you've still got to strike it out the middle, and that's often one of the harder parts with irons and drivers. And if you want to learn how to strike the ball better, this video is helping so many golfers.